The Mafia series is one that has evolved in some fantastic ways when compared to its original release. When it first launched in 2002, the game brought players back to the 1930s in ways that no other title had really done before. Held back by hardware limitations at the time, I felt the game did the best that it could. Now, in order to preserve the narrative and series for a new generation of gamers, developer Hangar 13 has recreated this gangster story with the release of Mafia Definitive Edition. With the beautiful scenery of the era now able to shine, the only thing missing is a competent AI.
So Tommy, you'll drive? Paulie and Sam can handle the rest. It'll be routine.
Just a handful of stops today.
Bill at the motel was a little short last month. So make sure he pays us the interest he owes.
No problem, boss.
Mafia Definitive Edition has been completely reworked to the point where you won't see reused graphics and textures from the original release. Suffice to say, the game looks beautiful. Hangar 13 did a stellar job with the character models, design, and voiceover audio. From the earliest moments of gameplay, you'd be hard-pressed to even recognize that you're playing Mafia, as it fits in so well with other games released this year. In Mafia, players are introduced to Tommy Angelo, a taxi driver who finds himself in the middle of a turf war as two gang members jump in his cab and command that he take them back to their base. The two are members of the Solari family, which Tommy ends up in after a run-in with a rival gang. Players get to follow Tommy across a few years and see him evolve into a different type of character. He has authority and eagerness towards the family, with the utmost respect for his colleagues. The story takes players through events such as the Great Depression and Prohibition. Like Tommy, the city and rival gangs evolve as well to meet the demand of this changing world. The story takes center stage in Mafia. The entire experience almost plays out without any real input from the player. As open as the city is, the game is quite linear, as you find yourself on one mission to the next. Like the original, there is a free ride mode option, but it doesn't do well to slow down the beats of the story, mostly because what you do there doesn't affect the main campaign. I would have enjoyed the two being married together in this entry, if only to give me an idea that I'm in some way shaping the narrative on my own. Mafia is heavily focused on its driving systems as well. Many moments of the game is spent in the car. I love how the game opens and you're forced to take on 3 taxi missions, which shows just how boring the life of a taxi driver can be. Each fare gets worse until you want nothing more than another gunfight to break out, just like the opening. Still, the flow of this game will have you driving during every mission while you listen to these guys talk about random things, which can become monotonous. However, it's when you get in a gunfight that you'll wish that you were back in the car looking at the city. The AI, although aggressive, can be extremely haphazard and often insanely dumb. If they don't randomly appear from behind you, then they'll be running into walls, shooting in the wrong direction, or just standing in front of you waiting to be shot. There's limited stealth mechanics here that rarely work, and in all, I found these shootouts to be more comical than fun. Also, the game has some strange controls where I would randomly stop running on stairs or get caught on an invisible barrier during chase scenes. It was extremely disoriented, but the controls become unresponsive during these moments, and I don't understand why. The cops also need a lot of help because seconds after breaking through a roadblock, I would lose them on the road. The mission structure and story pacing are very much a product of its time. The game doesn't really trust you to do things on your own, so you're always being led somewhere. This only hurts the remade city because you don't really get a chance to explore it during the main campaign or have any real impact on it. On the other hand, the game is pretty engaging in several ways. It tries to sell these characters and make you feel attached to them, but only a few moments really stick. Luckily, the improved character models make that easier, but I wish the developer took some liberties here with additional story scenes.
You got an extra blanket or something?
No. And the heat's out.
Mafia Definitive Edition is genuinely one of the best remakes of this generation. It gets so much right in terms of staying true to the source material and preserving what makes this game so awesome. Sadly, that only ends up hurting it due to the dated mission structure and poor AI. Still, it was fantastic to be able to play such an updated version of this classic. Noisy Pixels giving Mafia Definitive Edition an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please read the full review on noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.